So, why Song Zero? When I started this project, 30 songs in 30 weeks, it was very much about kind of focusing my effort, practice writing, like work out those muscles. But I already had this song, I'm Toxic, in flight. So initially I was just like, well, I guess I could finish this song and then start the project. Largely because I knew that if I left this thing unfinished, it would just kind of nag at me. For a long time, I had just sort of let myself take months or years, if need be, right? Like anytime I'm spending months or years on a song, I'm trying to squeeze out a good song, and it just never comes together. So this song exemplifies a lot of these problems that tend to arise when I'm working on my songs. And I thought if I could just give myself the opportunity to sort of identify those problems, articulate them. I don't want to overburden you with my opinion. I'm just going to let you hear it first. And then I'm going to come back and tell you all the reasons why it's a really terrible song. Here it is, number zero, with a bullet, I'm Toxic.
Birthday 39, and the perfect crime finally ended. I was bored of you, but the truth was cruel, so I pretended. Violence hides behind the silence in my self-destructive playground. The world is overgrown in my self-destructive playground. I'm always on my own. I never feel alone. Grounded, familiar style, but it's versatile. It'll never out you. Writing another song, and all the words are wrong. It's still about you. Eyes are holes in our disguises in my self-destructive playground. Don't believe the lines in my self-destructive playground. Never compromise. No one even tries. I'm toxic. I'm toxic. I'm toxic. I'm toxic.
So, maybe you listen to that song and at first blush you think I it doesn't seem so terrible. The chords go together. It's in a key. There's a pleasant melody. The words rhyme. It's a perfectly fine song, right? Not really true. We're gonna kind of dissect it section by section, and I'll explain why that's not true. And really, at least from my perspective, what I think is the entire problem with this song is almost completely boils down to the lyrics. I do think like it's pop music. You need chords that kind of work. You need a melody that's somewhat memorable, and then the lyrics do all the heavy lifting. Tragically, lyrics are the things I struggle with the most by far. In this particular case, I struggled and lost. At first glance, the first verse, honestly, I don't think is that bad. It's pretty decent. In a different song about something else. Birthday, 39, the perfect crime finally ended. I was bored of you, but the truth was cruel, so I pretended. We could be sort of setting the stage, potentially. Here's how I'm toxic. Here's, the cost of being toxic. The verse could do that, but it doesn't because the rest of the song doesn't live up to that potential at all. Then we move into the chorus, and this is really where it completely falls off the rails. With this very first line, in my self-destructive playground. Now, very early on, when I started writing this song, I thought of this line, and I immediately thought, yeah, this is a really good line. I like this line, in my self-destructive playground. The theme of the song, the theme of the song is I'm toxic, and in theory, being self-destructive, goes hand in hand with that. So you'd think the line, in my self-destructive playground, well, that's about being self-destructive. Clearly that belongs. But what does that mean? What is a self-destructive playground? And I wrote this line, and I kept trying to ask this line what it meant. Am I there alone? Are my friends there? Are my enemies there? No idea. If I, come up with a piece I like when I'm working on a song, why would I cut that? Like, I want to cut the pieces I don't like. It's counterintuitive. So this line really is kind of a poison pill to the song. And then we move into the second verse. In this scenario where I'm, forcing myself to finish the song quickly, a lot of times it just has to be, well, this is the best thing that I thought of for here, so here we go. The grounded, familiar style, and it's versatile. Like, that's about the song. That's not about being toxic. It'll never out you. Yeah, sure. I'm writing another song. All the words are wrong. It's still about you. It's obvious to me that it's about the song. So it's very much just outing itself immediately. So that's a bold-faced lie. No idea. I'm trying to write this song, but another song keeps coming out. And then we move back to the chorus, and now we have done verse, chorus, and I have completely not touched on what the song was supposed to be about. There's plenty of themes that could have grown out of that and made it into the song, but none of them did. So here we are at the end of the second chorus. Typically, at the end of the second chorus, you'll move into a section called the bridge. This section that happens after the second chorus, it's just this something that just occurs after the second chorus. No idea. I've just given up. Like, lyrically, all I say is I'm toxic over and over. Tragically, the closest I get to expressing the theme of the song is just literally saying the title of the song 4 times. I just kind of bleed into this instrumental section and, emotionally blah, 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 blah. It isn't earned is the real problem. Like, I just meander. I'm toxic, I don't know, I'm toxic. And I don't know, here's some music. And then, I don't know, I guess it's over. No idea. It's just this slow death. It's just a mess. The song's a mess. I effectively just threw paint at the canvas, and some artists can create great art that way. I created a steaming pile of crap. Maybe it's worth identifying the one thing that this song does that's kind of interesting. I have a verse and a chorus, and the verse and the chorus are both in common time, in 4/4 time, and then in the first line of the second verse, it transitions to 3/4 time. The rest of the second verse, the second chorus, and the whole rest of the song, in fact, is in 3/4 time. And I don't know that I've ever heard a pop song, that could have like a verse and a chorus and a time signature, and then structurally repeat a verse and repeat the chorus, but do them both in a different time signature. I can't think of a song that does that. So, I think that's all I really wanted to say about this. I hope all the official songs for the next 30 weeks are better than this. I promise nothing. We'll see what happens. So, I'll see you next week.